Welcome back to part 2 of our conversation with designated drinker and executive director of Thrive DC, Shane Mulhern. So if you've missed part 1, you know what you got to do. You got to belly back up to that bar and give it a listen first. And you're going to save a seat for him, right, Gina?
Of course, right next to you and I, between us.
Yes.
Like a cookie.
There you go. Like a good little Christmas cookie.
Like a Christmas cookie sandwich, if you will.
If you will. So Shane, in part 1, you started to share a little bit about your early days. I want to get back to those because that's so much fun. We talked about so many things about how important it is to understand the individuals who are dealing with homelessness and how important it is for us to be a bigger part of the community. And so to kick off part 2, will you please just give that little soundbite of what Thrive DC is, what its mission is, just in case our listeners didn't listen to me and told to go back and listen to part 1 first.
Thrive DC is a homeless services organization located in Ward 1. We focus on individuals experiencing homelessness, meeting their kind of concrete needs, a lot of emergency services. We also try to do some prevention work through our food pantry and providing nutritious food to over 350 individuals and families a week.
Awesome. So to that point, listeners, if you're in the DC area, donations are always needed, always needed. And if you aren't, we encourage you to go out and find your own local charities that are doing such amazing work, and you're going to fill your soul with so much by giving. It's a win-win-win.
It's a way better gift to give.
Yes.
Goes so much further.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So So, okay, we kind of left off about talking about your father. This is great. And tell our listeners one more time, just a little bit. And what's the middle name again?
So my full name is Shane Santo Martinez Mulhern. So I'll do the quick version of the story. You can dive in. So I am actually Irish and Puerto Rican, and I grew up in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, before it was hipster central. So how I ended up in Williamsburg, my dad was an Irish Catholic priest who was assigned to the local church, and my mother came from Puerto Rico when she was 8 years old. They met each other, I think she was 22, and he was the young, dashing priest. And he was a priest for about 5 years. And so we've never gotten the full story, but my mother did share that he was the priest who took the Hijas de Maria, the daughters of Mary, to see The Sound of Music. And my dad, in true stoic Irish fashion, at the end of The Sound of Music, it's like, well, it's just amazing how one person could love another person like that. And without losing a beat, my mother turned to him and said, well, that's how I love you.
Aww.
Yeah, and that was courageous. And so
my mother would have been like, what did you say to him? Soap, mouth, right now.
So I don't have the timing, but between The Sound of Music and I think it was literally the summer of 1969, they were married.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. And so my dad stayed in the community and actually worked in early childhood education, and my mother ended up as the church secretary for literally the church that this happened in. You know, my parents met in church, just not how you think they would meet in church. And my brother, sister, and I grew up in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, in the same parish that my dad was a priest in.
Wow.
My brother, Stephen, was a police officer in Williamsburg at 91st Precinct.
Oh, yeah.
That was my brother Stephen's beat in 1981 to 2000 and change. Yeah. Yes, very familiar. Very familiar.
We probably came across each other.
Well, let's hope he wasn't arresting you.
No.
Is there another story? No.
Williamsburg's always been a very interesting community. It's like a rich in immigration and history like that, and like how the city was founded, the heartbeat of New York, right? And artists, and always, and to this day, still artist communities, which is amazing. And of course, there's crime everywhere. Welcome to New York. I mean, like, I'm sorry, everybody. Like, if you think that this is Disneyland, you've obviously been on too many sets at like Universal, because like 100%, it's a real thriving city with millions and millions of people that live in very small spaces.
Yeah.
But it's a cool community. I mean, nighttime was rough. It's always been a very cool community.
It is a very cool community. So my interaction with the police, and so no names involved, because Williamsburg, right there, there's a Latino section, there's a Hasidic Jewish section, there's a Polish section, there's an Italian section, right, kind of north side, south side. So I was a young assistant principal working at a school, and we needed to find an apartment for a first grade teacher, and we were talking to the community affairs officer, saying, "Hey, we really got to find, an apartment that's reasonable, right? Catholic school pay scale." And the police officer is like, "Go talk to Jimmy T. I'll call him for you." And Jimmy T was a neighborhood institution who had a lot of connections to different enterprises. Like,
Different enterprises.
of course I will find an apartment for the first grade teacher. And I was like, that's community working together right there.
How Jimmy T got that apartment? Nobody wants to know.
No questions
Fell off
asked.
the back of some truck, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't think much has changed in New York. I was just home, and it was very much like that still to this day. Like, oh, you know this guy? Yeah, he'll help you out. And you're like, okay, let's do that. But that is a community. That is a definition of a community that like will do something, right? And I think that like, because DC is so transit sometimes, and you're here for such a short time, you don't invest in your community. I lived in DC proper for 20 years. Like, you know those people. I know those people. They come into my bagel stores now, but like, and like there are kids that have gotten in trouble, and you know how I am. I still feed the kids that get in trouble. They go to like school in Union Market, like over there, the kids' school. I'm like, whatever. I give them breakfast. I don't care. Give him breakfast. The kid's hungry. He's not gonna do good in school. Feed him.
All right, I think Shane is thirsty, because I know I am. So how about you give us a cocktail?
So selfish, Louise.
I was working really hard on that segue, everybody. Let's go do it.
I love your story.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
amazing. All right, Louise, here we go. So I made this beautiful scorched milk. It's like so delicious. I love it. We're gonna give it a little stir with our little snowman. He's so cute. And we're gonna actually take this out of the container that I transported it in. We're gonna put it into something I can actually pour, which would be really great. You can see the consistency. It's just so thick. It's almost like, like a little caramelly. It smells so good. It's one of my favorite things. All right, but you can go back to Instagram and watch me make that, and then you can make it at home, right? All right, so, sometimes in life you have to improvise, and when you're making more than one cocktail at once, maybe using a jigger is not that convenient. So you can always use something that has a larger measuring as long as there's ounces. So we're gonna use a side of a pint container, and we're gonna put in 3 ounces of bourbon. The drink calls for 1.5 per, and then we're gonna use 1 ounce of Cardamaro. And then we're going to add 2 ounces of scorched milk. And we're just doubling everything as I'm making it for 2. And you can see, look how beautiful that is. It's just like developing. It's so yummy and delicious. I don't want to break the little snowman. Frosty, this is so sad. I love this drink. All right, we're gonna pour that in. And then I'm just gonna chug it, and that'll be the end of that. And that's the end of the drink, right? I don't know. All right, so rule of thumb, right? If you have your shaker tin, you're gonna put your 3/4 full of ice on top, put it together, that way it doesn't spill over your counter, and you're gonna hard shake. And you keep shaking. Okay, we can write our name on the shaker tin, we're ready to go. Okay, give it a little. This is the best Baileys you'll ever have in your life. Now we're gonna double strain this because we don't want the ice in our drink that we just spent so much time making. It's got like a really pretty color to it. It's like my fave. And we're just gonna put across the top just a little bit of cardamom because it smells really yummy. And if you want to decorate this more, you can add a bay leaf, whatever you like. Does it need it? No. Is over garnishing great? Yes. So you can do whatever you want. This is for our guest. And then this one will be for you, Louise. So cheers.
Cheers. It's so pretty.
Happy holidays.
What do you think, Shane?
Looks great.
So that's the gift that keeps on giving, don't you think?
It is
Cheers.
spectacular.
I already like Shane. He gets hang out here all day long. He said he likes to drink. We're good.
This is really nice. You're right. This is, I'm not a big eggnog fan. But
There's no egg in this, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, like when you said it's like an alternative to it, it absolutely is. It's really beautiful. It's a little boozy, but I'm enjoying it. It's the holidays.
Yeah, it is boozy. It is something that you can sip. But you know what I really love about this drink? You can make batches of this and like bottle it in like little bottles and give it to your friends.
Oh, that's a fun little idea.
Yeah, and it's like really nice and it's like, you know, it's kind of, and you can also make it with your kids if you're at home, like not the boozy version, the scorched milk, and they can give that as a different like, alternative to hot chocolate. This is and this drink is so versatile. You can serve it cold, you can serve it hot. It's one of my like drinks forever, and I just like sharing it. It's like my gift right now. Like this is a very personal recipe to me. Like I've done this, like I've never shared this recipe before.
Yeah. Well, and to your point, I'm sorry, Shin, that you could dial back the booze if you wanted to. You could go to none to light or however you like it.
Yeah, but I would definitely stick in either like bourbon or like a very dark rum. I wouldn't
stay in the dark
I wouldn't.
spirits.
Yeah, I wouldn't start like putting vodka in
No,
because it would just it would be so sweet. Like your eyeballs would fall out of your head.
Oh, I just love how smooth it is. It is just really like easy to sip. It's not heavy, like because eggnog can have that heavy sort of feel to it sometimes.
Yeah.
This is
Well, when you're playing
perfect.
Clark Griswold, you
I mean, this is what is it, Cousin Eddie? You know, I just need the glass with the antlers.
Yes. You the Wally World punch, right? That's it. 100%. That's it. I just had this great vision of like just standing around like, Clark. I love when he says the shitter's full. It's fucking funny.
So before we go any further, Gina, let's do our housekeeping.
So you're going to go to designateddrinker.show for the tips and tricks and how-to. And then you can see me on Instagram at designateddrinker, making the scorched milk. If you have any questions, DM me.
Yes.
Nobody DMs me enough. DM me. I'm like, I answer the DM. I really answer the DMs.
She does. She does. So if you didn't catch that, go to designateddrinker.show or our Instagram, you can always just scroll down into the episode notes. We'll have links to all of that. Plus, we'll make sure we have links to Thrive DC so that people can learn more about the mission, learn how they can donate, even if they're not in this area, what else they can do. Maybe they are donating here, or maybe they're looking at their local charities, because who wouldn't champion all that goodness?
Wouldn't it be fun to get do a giving tree with your friends and be like, you know what, we're all gonna give $10. 10 of us are gonna give $10 a month for the next, year, right? And just think about the difference you can make with just your friends, instead of going out for that extra cup of coffee, like you were saying, Shane, or whatever, you can spare. If you can spare, you can spare 10.
Yeah. We can all easily most of us can find $10 in our pocket.
And you have more than 10 friends.
I might have more than 10 friends.
Yes, you have 10 friends just right here. It feels good to give. I say this, either giving time or giving yourself. It feels good. It makes you a better person.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a small sidebar thing that I joined a group here. A friend of mine started. It's Women for Good, and it's a Circle of Giving organization. And I guess what they do is they just encourage people to start their own organizations. And it's just a group of mostly entrepreneurial women. Not everybody has a business, but many of us do in this group. And you pay $100 every quarter to be a part of this, and that $100, 15 of it goes to the organization. The rest goes to a charity, and as you grow your organization, the more you can give to local charities. So the first time I think we gave $1,200 because it was a smaller group, but it has grown to the point that we're giving away I think $15,000, and we've only been a group for a year, because just more and more women become a part of the organization, because now now it's a network of friends, because we all live in the same area. We'll go to different people's homes for happy hour, and it doesn't need to be this. It doesn't need to be hard. It's very simple. We just get together, have a good time, and then we help each other from like professional standpoint. So if you need to know this person or that person, I got this contact, what have you. But then all the money that we're raising are going to local charities, and each quarter. An organization will come and we pick between 3. A lot of the members usually nominate the organization, and they come in and they pitch us, and then based on a voting system, the group of women choose who gets the money. And we've gone everything from Animal Welfare League to an organization working on homelessness here in this area, just various, and a baking, a woman who started this bakery, it's a 501c, and it helps children with autism. Because her son has autism, so she helps people who have mental challenges and sometimes physical challenges have a job. She started this bakery, and now they make all these baked goods, and they sell them to different stores, and started at farmers markets. So anyway, my point is you can find a charity or even start one your own.
Yeah, so take all the Amazon packages you didn't return, get the return labels on them, take that money, and then give it to Thrive DC.
Absolutely.
Done. Because so many people you go to I don't know, a Goodwill or something, and there's just Amazon boxes with actual products in there because people forget to return it.
Yep.
So go return all your stuff.
Absolutely.
Give the money away. Sorry, Shane, I'm aggressive.
So
give me your money. Give me your money. I'll ask for it.
We need more people like you. Thank you.
No, it's a hard thing to ask for, and you guys are tackling something that's hard. That I think a lot of us, unfortunately, see the group of people that you focus on as almost invisible. Easy for me to say. That drink was boozy. Invisible people, and they're not, because to your point, they are so much a part of our community.
And thank you. And in the spirit of the holidays, I actually really want to thank both of you, right, for giving me this opportunity to talk about Thrive, to talk about our work, for really, talking about the individuals we serve, right? It is this type of work that you do, and it's fun, it's light. It's been a really amazing experience to be here with you during the holidays and celebrate, and right, and the impact it's going to have on people with who really need support. So, to happy holidays, and wish you the best new year and thank you again for supporting Thrive and countless organizations that do work like we do.
Oh my gosh.
What we do is, yes, it's
That's a
so
cheers.
small compared to what you
Cheers.
do. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. And to a new year.
A new year of giving.
A new year. Yes.
Yes. So I think this is it, Gina. I think this last one is you.
Oh.
It's the last one of the year.
Oh my gosh, it is the last one of the year. Okay, great. All right. Maybe next year I'm going to change it up. Maybe I'm going to change it up. Right, so this is my question, right? Do you have listened to our show before?
I have.
Oh, you're prepared.
I am prepared.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do this one off the cuff. Everybody, identifies as a spirit animal of some sort, and you might identify yourself with a raccoon because raccoons will come in and take all the little things out of your cabinets and your trash and bring it back to their families, right? Which is a very cool animal. People don't realize that they actually take care of all their community. If you can identify yourself as an ingredient, one spirit ingredient, whether it's for booze or for food, what would that ingredient be, and what does it say about you?
Oh, wow. You switched it up on me. I was prepared, and now I have the drink. So a spirit that I love and I identify with is Grand Marnier.
Delish.
And the reason why, so I had a good friend and mentor who basically taught me how to drink Grand Marnier. And he was like, okay, I want you to sip it first. And just straight Grand Marnier, which is a little, yeah, it's got a little bit of a kick. And he's like, okay, put an ice chip in your mouth and take a little sip. And the complexity and the flavor that emerges because of the heat of your mouth, the ice chip, the Grand Marnier, is actually one of the most spectacular experiences that I had in terms of a drink. And I was just like, really? Context and different factors matter, right? And I think about my life and the richness of growing up where I grew up, my parents instilling in me kind of the ability to give and desire to give back, and having moments like this with, new friends. And it's those little things in life, like an ice chip makes a huge difference.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That's
So is
great.
he the ice chip or he's the grim one? Yeah.
Ooh, that is a deep question.
I think he's
I think we'll let the listeners decide. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going there.
Just a boy from Brooklyn, my
Just
friend.
a boy from Brooklyn.
Well, cheers to that. Happy
Cheers.
New Year.
Happy holidays.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
The Designated Drinker Show is produced by Missing Link, a Latina-owned, strategy-driven, creatively fueled production co-op. From ideation to creation, we craft human connections through intelligent, engaging, and informative content. Also in the Missing Link lineup of podcasts is Rodger That, a podcast dedicated to guiding you through the haze of dementia, led by skilled caregivers. Now, if you're looking for a whole new way to enjoy the theater, check out Between Acts, an immersive audio theater podcast experience. Each episode takes you on a spellbinding journey through the works of newfound playwrights, from dramas to comedies and everything in between. Find Missing Link's League of Podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And while you're there, please don't forget to follow, download, and review the shows. Your reviews help our shows reach new audiences. To find out more about Missing Link, visit missinglink.company. That's missinglink.company.